we need someone to do a taste test. And who's the perfect person for the taste test? Today, I'm going to show you how to make cupcakes out of cake mix recipe. You know how we do it?
No, I don't.
It's a trick.
Ah.
I'll show you.
Let's find out.
How we go. So we've got this Green's golden butter cake. This one happens to be the gluten-free version. We're probably going to need that. Thanks for grabbing it. So that's our cake mix. At this stage, we're just following the recipe on the packet, as if we were going to make the cake, but there's a twist. I'll show you when we go to make the cupcakes from the cake mix recipe. Well, that's some unbreakable egg there. That's one egg.
It came out of a chicken's bum.
Oh, easy. 2 eggs. We need some butter or margarine, 60 grams, which, let's see, how much is 60 grams? Probably about, what do you reckon? So that's 60 grams. Now we need 2/3 of a cup of milk. Probably use this 1/3 of a cup and just do it twice.
Yeah.
It's a little hack for you.
Okay.
One.
Ooh, that's looking good, isn't it? You'll probably stick your
Two.
hands in there.
Just a little bit for luck, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
What you may have noticed is we're still following the cake recipe at this point. We're going to mix it just like we're going to mix a cake recipe. Alright. We're ready to mix. You might be able to hear in the background that pleasant hum of the oven preheating. So we're preheating it to 160 to 180 degrees Celsius, around that. So it's about 350 degrees for people who play in the alternative temperature models. Now we're just going to do this mixing type thing. So to add to the hum of that oven, we'll get the pleasant hum of this mixer. Oh, now I've got to do this tricky bit where you kind of spin these a bit to get this batter off, but low enough that it stays in the bowl. Hopefully. Just a low speed. You see?
The angle was a bit of a problem, I think, not the altitude.
No worries, probably a little bit of cleanup to do afterwards, but it's worth it because the cake's going to be so delicious. Alright, so we've made the cake mix, which is exactly how we would have made it if we were going to make a cake, but we want to turn this into 12 cupcakes rather than one big cake. So what do? Well, here's where the tricks start. We get a cupcake pan rather than a cake pan, and we should probably just grease these things up a little bit. When we go to grease the pan, always use a bit of baking paper with maybe just a bit of butter. Never use a hard, scratchy implement like a knife or anything like that. Now that we have a greased cupcake pan, all we need to do is transfer the cake mix into the cupcake pan. I'm going to use this large plastic spoon to do exactly that. In the packet instructions, it says 45 minutes cooking time, but for cupcakes we're not going to need that long. So I'd say cut it down to 15 to 20 minutes, probably check it after 15 to see if they cook through. If necessary, let it go for another minute or two. So we're going to pop these into the oven. Those little bits will make nice crunchy little extras later. While the cupcakes are in the oven, we'll just whip up this icing, which involves this icing mix, which is handy. Now we're going to add 40 grams of butter, which I'm just guessing.
Is that just icing sugar then?
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of pretty much just icing sugar with a bit of butter. Let's say that's 40 grams. 20 mils of milk, so Probably like that plus, about that. Now we're just going to give this a little bit of a mix up. Again, this time we'll be a bit more cautious. Rightio. Yeah, looks pretty good. Probably got a couple of minutes still for those cakes to get cooked.
Well,
so
they're rising nicely.
Oh, nice. Is that your tea?
I don't know. Director, is that mine?
Mm. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, they're rising really well.
Nice. You got like a pokey thingy, like a skewery type device here somewhere? Yeah. Sharp knife.
Knife?
Probably do
Another
the trick.
sharp knife, yeah.
I think they're done. Oh, sorry. Alright, so I put the knife in, check if they're done. You'll see there's no cake kind of stuck to it. And they look about right, so
No wet cake.
no wet cake. Thanks. Yeah, they look about right to the naked eye. So I'd say let's get them out. No, I do have them. Oh, I'm going to put those
There.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, they look pretty good. Nice, man.
They're not ice cubes.
They kind of are. They're kind of ice cubes. What's left?
Hey,
oh, we're
you
done.
did it.
Just like that. And then if you want to eat these bits, you can.
So
But
we can eat these burnt bits.
you can. Just like that, we've turned our cake mix recipe
Simple
into
and
12
quick.
perfectly cooked cupcakes. Just a little bit of crispiness on the edge, still moist through the middle without being too moist. Should be good. Yeah, that looks good. I promised you we were going to make these cupcakes into gourmet cupcakes.
Into what, sorry?
Gourmet
Oh,
cupcakes.
yeah.
So we're going to apply the icing now to the cakes, which is, usually I just go a bit on the top, but if you want to go around it or anything like that, I'm not going to stop you.
She only wanted one clap.
Alright. You want to apply some of these sprinkles to turn cupcakes into gourmet cupcakes? I guess in a perfect world you'd probably have something surrounding this in case sprinkles go over the edge. But we don't have that exactly. Rightio. And just like that, we've turned cake mix recipe into not just cupcakes, but 12 gourmet cupcakes, like you would find in an expensive restaurant. Heck yes. Tricks of the trade. Rightio. I can fit one more in there. Okay. Wow. Ready for cake? Yeah. So there we have it, viewers. We've turned this gluten-free greens cake mix into 12, not just cupcakes, gourmet cupcakes. Easy. Easy. Wow, strong grip with the toes. And now, of course, we need someone to do a taste test. And who's the perfect person for the taste test? You want to give that a shot? Not seeing any complaints. I think it's another success story.
I That's really nice.